Hello, I'm Joe, and I'm going to do a series of YouTube videos called the Chord Whisperer, where I talk about music with my friend John. Say hello, John.
Hello.
You might not see him a lot, but you're going to hear him. I have John's piano, which is rather beautiful, and I have a pencil, and I have a pad of paper. That's it, and our brains.
This sounds good.
Yeah. I've got no idea where. Well, no, I do have an idea where to start. I was thinking about chords, like what they are, and how they're made, and what defines a chord as being different from another chord.
Okay.
Because
within the structure of a piece, or just
kind of a pure on its own. What is a chord?
Okay.
What is a chord? Because if you don't know what a chord is, and it's a word that's used a lot, then how do you know when you have two chords next to each other what that means?
Okay.
So to me, a chord is defined by the top and the bottom note of a chord, which is a fifth apart. So if that's number 1 and that's number 5, then that's like your skeleton of a chord.
And does it have to be a fifth?
No, it can be anything. In fact, really, okay, the real basic what is a chord is more than one note played at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that can't be a chord. It has no tonality or harmony. But as soon as you play 2 notes, then it sounds like
it could be a chord.
It could be
understood.
A chord. It's a major third.
Yeah.
It's a major chord.
Wonderful.
Or it could be the top of a minor chord. We don't know. But generally speaking, 3 notes is your triad. 3-note chord. What does chord mean? What does chord mean?
I have no idea. Chordal?
String. It means string.
String. A reverberance of something?
So your basic pound coin of chords is your root position major, C major, right?
Okay.
It's got the 1 and the 5 on the outside, and it's got the 3 in the middle, and that 3 can either be there, which is a major chord, or it can be there, which is a minor chord. And that is something that's really interesting to me as well. It's like, how have we managed to define that in a way that we're comfortable with?
And how come we get something called a major, and why do we call it a major?
It's almost a philosophical question, really. I think it's
is it because purely because of its sound and its emotion through the sound?
I think there is no mathematical halfway point between these 2 notes, which is an interesting thing. The major is slightly above the halfway point, and the minor is slightly below it. If there was, there is clearly, because there's quarter tones and anything, but there isn't on the piano. If there was, maybe we'd have a hybrid chord that is not major or minor.
And what do you think makes us reflect on a major sound and a minor sound emotively?
I think it's partly the amount of music that we've listened to that teaches us the rules inherently by just us listening to it.
So, subliminally.
But there's got to be something else, isn't there? Because it's so universal. Like, if you have a 4-year-old come in to learn piano, and you say, what's the difference between that and that? They'd be like, well, one's happy, one's sad. It's just like, you can't help yourself. You're kind of born with it. So why that is, I'm the wrong person to ask. I've got no idea. But so coming back to the major and minor thing, it's like we call that tonality in music, and 99.9% of music we can identify as major and minor. It's really weird that it's settled into this binary, it's one or the other. And it's all to do with where that middle note is. Is it slightly above the halfway point of the chord, or is it slightly below the halfway point of the chord? And that is the major and minor. But I suppose what I find, I have a sneaking suspicion that there is no such thing as pieces in the minor key. That they're really in the major, they're just sort of pretending for it.
What? No G minor? No A minor. A minor is my favourite key. I can't not write in A minor.
So here's a challenge for my theory.
Okay.
A piece of classical music that I'll know well enough to be able to sketch out the first bit of it in A minor.
Okay.
What? A random one. This is not prepared. If you love A minor.
Well.
So there's
bit of Beethoven.
So that's in A minor, right?
Yeah.
So my theory is based on the fact that pieces in the major tend to modulate to the dominant or the subdominant or the other, another major key.
Okay. Do we have to have these rules?
We don't have to, but they're there.
Yeah. Why were they put there?
That's another question. I don't know. But what I've noticed is that major keys, so there's relative majors and minors. And pieces in the majors tend to stay in the major for quite a long time. If they do modulate to the relative minor, it's after a long time. Pieces in the minor, that relative major chord is going to come in pretty soon. So A minor, what's the relative major? It's C. So how quickly in this piece do we get to C major? There it is.
20 seconds in.
We've modulated to its relative major in 20 seconds.
Is that to do with how our ears are designed to need difference, or is it a suspense and release thing, or is it?
Minor keys don't exist.
You've just shattered every single one of my bubbles, Joe.
This one. There's the relative major.
Yeah.
Like 8 bars in from after the introduction.
Does it has it something to do with the composer's optimism? Does it have something to do with pessimism versus optimism?
I think
on a philosophical thing.
I think most composers who write music want their music to sound lovely. And there's something about starting in the minor key. And then you go. Everyone's heart just goes like,
That's better.
That's better.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, we can't stay sad for too long, we don't like it. Here's
yes, of
major,
course.
and then it will sit in that relative major key for ages.
We don't like sitting in the rain for too long.
No, we don't.
No.
So I have a sneaking suspicion that all pieces are in the major, just some of them start in the minor for a bit, and then it's like, sorry, we didn't mean to like make you too miserable. Then they go to the major, and then they come back to the minor at the end.
I quite like that. That's a good concept.
So, obviously there are pieces that stay in the minor for longer. Of course there are. But it's quite. I find that quite weird and interesting. It's like, okay, so we've got these two things, major and minor, but they're not equal. There is a definite hierarchy, and major always seems like the stronger, the more common.
Predominant force.
Yeah, the predominant force in the major. Actually, it's interesting that the blues kind of cuts through all that, because the blues can be major and minor at the same time.
At the same time.
It's a bit weird. So you know, a minor chord down a major chord down here, and you can play the minor third. I don't know why that is.
Many of our great 20th century composers, orchestral composers, loved putting major on top of minor to create tension. I'm just thinking of the Rite of Spring and all those opposing major minor
genuinely
bitonalities on top of each other.
Well, I think that that is clearly a deliberate pushing harmony onto a new place and using it in a way that hasn't been used before. So that is going to defy and break the rules.
Are there rules?
Well, there are rules if you want to make something
a framework
that doesn't just sound random.
Yeah.
And so there are people who have done that. They've created music by rolling dice or by the I Ching or and
billiard tables.
Yeah, exactly. And then they've used them, they've mapped them onto the piano, and you get proper random music. Computers can do that for us now.
Yeah.
I don't find it interesting or satisfying to listen to.
Yeah.
Because it's the agency, isn't it? Otherwise you may as well just throw a load of random stuff out there. It would almost be like just trying to write a book, just putting random words together. There are rules there to allow us to express ourselves.
So have we ordered randomness?
I think that we do that. Isn't that art?
Yeah.
Isn't that
we order what's around us.
The basis of what art is.
Yeah.
taking something that's so out of control, so infinite in its spectrum,
concept,
and just managing to put a framework in and present something.
Present something small.
Yeah.
That is understandable enough to our small little brains.
Yeah, because if you walk on a beach full of pebbles, it's a beach full of pebbles. It's hard to appreciate that for what it is. But if you put one pebble on top of another one and say, "Oh, look what I did," you're like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
It's like, you've not done much, but you have done enough.
Yes.
To
by
express
moving
something.
One thing to another.
Yeah, and so I think the rules. I don't think anyone sits down and in order to invent new rules. Bach did a pretty good job of that.
Yes, he did.
As did Pythagoras. And various other people like Messiaen and so forth have been like, I've written a new musical language that I'm going to use for my music, and thereafter it becomes a musical language that we all become familiar with.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's first heard, it's not familiar at all. So the Bach, what are they called? Cantatas? No, the things that everyone has to study.
In the Riemenschneider,
yeah. What's that? Are they cantatas?
I think they're cantatas. Chorals,
there you go, the Bach chorals.
Got there in the end.
Sounded odd to people at the time. We have evidence that they did, because he was using harmony in a new way, and he was really establishing these major and minor harmonies, and the way that you could put those together, and the way that you could change key, and the way that you could go back again, and what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And these are all the painful and impenetrable rules that we're taught when we do music A level.
Have we then, knowing what we know about the limitations of our hands, of our instruments, are we coming full circle? Have we pushed the boundaries of harmony? Is there anything new that hasn't been done?
Yes.
Okay.
There's always going to be.
Can we keep rearranging the sound?
Do you mean in terms of what is possible?
What is possible?
What is new that hasn't been done?
What is possible with a chord or with harmony, with both hands?
The harmonic scale frequencies are infinitely divisible. So we've divided an octave, which is in itself a division of a larger thing, as you can see. But it's so inherent. An octave is so, you can't escape the relationship, the repeating sense that you've started something again. So you've got to take that as read, I think.
Yeah.
But within that, we've split it into 12. Other people have split it into 24 and 36 and 48. Other people have split it into 5. People have split it unevenly, so pentatonic scales.
So we're
never going to run out of ways to do that.
But have we come up with, so if we look at 20th century jazz and the development of that, and all the new possibilities of modes and scales and this, that and the other.
Don't get me started on modes.
Well, okay, so where do we go in the 21st century? Will we create new modes, new scales, will we move on from the pentatonic? Will we move on from the blues?
Within our 12-note system, I hesitate to say that we may have run out of ways to create new harmonies, because there is a finite number of ways that you can combine those notes. It has been done.
I think it has.
In terms of let's say a chord, there is no chord I could play that hasn't been played before. Yeah. That would have been the case at one point.
Yes.
That I could play a chord that no one else had ever played.
So is it a case of the fact that we have run out of possibilities? Are we just now reassembling them slightly differently?
Well, either you can split that up into more bits and then you have more permutations and combinations, or it's the way that one chord follows another. Then suddenly you have a piece and you can combine those chords in ways that have never been combined before. And very quickly you can do that. So if I play a chord and then quite an unrelated chord, and then another, and then another, I'm going to get to the point fairly soon in real time where that's a completely original chord progression. There's no way of proving it, But it will be.
It only has to be 1% different to the something that has come before, right?
Exactly. And then there's also inversions, so a C chord with a C at the bottom is different to a C chord with an E at the bottom and a C chord with a G at the bottom. They're all C major chords, but they're definitely different and they're used for different purposes.
So are you saying that it's down to continual evolution of curiosity and experimentation?
Well, one of the worst blocks to creativity is thinking, what's the point? It's been done before.
Yeah.
It's awful. It haunts like composers and
it sticks like glue, doesn't it?
It's horrible. It's the most horrible thought because it's basically saying, what's the point of my whole life? Because someone else has lived this life before.
Yeah.
And it stops you from actually doing something that no one has done before because you can't get to that point straight away. You have to follow in the footsteps.
Yes, you do. You have to know your history.
Yeah, I think you kind of do.
Yes, I think it was Winston Churchill that said that.
Yeah.
Know your history.
I mean, certainly if you want to communicate in the same language that history has written, then you have to have an understanding of it. And of course someone can come along to the piano and they can just play something with no knowledge of music and no knowledge of piano. And I dare say, in fact, this is something that I have done, that after a while they will find patterns and tunes and things. But it is so inherently affected by music that we've heard and our cultural history. That
again, it's the subliminal thing.
Yeah, I mean, presumably if you raised someone in complete isolation from all that and then showed them a piano, they would still find their own patterns. That'd be really interesting.
It would.